have come to realize that makeup purchases are not just a view into one's aesthetic, but also a view into someone's soul. And if you manage to step into a shit show, that will reflect in your purchasing habit. Hi friends, thank you for watching. My name is Mia and this is my virtual vanity, a place where we both love makeup and we're quite critical of it. I come to you ashamed in a sense because I was supposed to do a beauty budget update every month and I've not done an update in 4 months, but I have good reasons for it. Aside from, procrastinating because a month passed, then 2 months passed, and then it seemed to get harder and harder to convince myself to just sit the fuck down and do this beauty budget update and pour my soul in front of you guys and just say what happened in my life, my little victories and my big mistakes regarding the budget. I just couldn't do it for some reason, so I kept procrastinating. I kept doing other videos, but listen, it's time. I'm not going to end up doing a beauty budget update video for the whole year. I need to get back on track. If you're new here, here are my beauty budget rules on the side. Now let's start with the very beginning, with my my initial beauty budgeting month that I was supposed to talk about, and then it all spiraled into 4 months later. March seemed to be the month where everything changed because I got my first PR package. I have considered how to approach me getting PR in this budget as well as in these videos, because if you're watching a budgeting video, you don't want to see all of the free shit that person is getting. It feels a bit like bragging. At least to me, it would feel like bragging if I would just start saying in each beauty budget update, listen, this is what I got in PR, this is all of the free shit that I got. Also, PR affects in a way budgeting because it gives you new toys to play with, right? If you do a budget because you are an impulse shopper and you crave the dopamine hit that you get from buying new stuff, then of course PR mitigates that. For me, it was a different challenge because my budget is more about numbers, as in the total number of things that come into my collection. So for me, my budget was never about trying to correct a harmful behavior. It was more about trying to not fall into a pit of buying everything that strikes my fancy because, I don't need everything. I don't need to own everything. I don't need to try out everything. I'm not a review channel. There is absolutely no business reason and no personal reason for me to fall into this, this thing of I need to buy more makeup because I'm a YouTuber. So for me, creating the budget 2 years ago was this way of keeping myself in check and to have a system of checks and balances with how much shit I would bring into my collection. And that would also give me time to explore everything that I brought into my collection and intimately know them in a way that someone that may purchase a lot more may not be able to due to lack of time and constraints. In March, I didn't feel the need to buy anything because I already received some new stuff to play with. Then there was also the fact that I received some belated birthday gifts from friends and family that I didn't get to see in February. So again, I had this influx of product that I needed to try out, and I will be very honest with you, in March I felt incredibly overwhelmed. Not necessarily because of the number of items, but because I felt that I didn't have enough time to give everything the attention it deserved, to try out everything to the best of my ability, to do multiple looks. I also had to focus more on the PR than the gifts. It was a whole situation. But needless to say, because of the fact that I got all of this new stuff that was gifted to me in one way or the other, in March I did not buy anything myself. With the caveat that it was easy to do so and not everyone can be in my position, not everyone that budgets can be in the position of receiving free shit for review. I also feel that March was a bit of a turning point for my channel because before March I didn't really get PR at all. And then brands started to notice me in the snowball effect, where when one noticed me, the other noticed me as well. It was quite interesting. It's tapered down now in the last month or so, and I think that I will not get PR for a long while still, but it was an interesting couple of months of me just getting noticed. And let me tell you, the validation is better than the actual, free product. Free products are nice, but you know what? I can buy my own shit. It feels good, man. It feels good to have your hard work recognized. This was never my goal on YouTube. PR was never my goal on YouTube, but it's a bonus that I have to say I enjoy. If you want to see reviews of the PR that I received in March, you can see my Zeesea review linked down below in the description box. In April, by my own rules, because I did not buy anything in March, the beauty budget rolled forward. So I could buy 4 items, or I could buy double the monetary amount in makeup. I decided to finally try Glamshop shadows, and I did an order of those. I'm really happy with them. I'm planning a review of them very soon. The hype is real, and it's worth it for like 3/4 of the things that I've tried. Some things less so, but we'll talk about it in the review that I will post soon enough, eventually. And I also bought the By Teddy Beach Bomb palette. Now this is something that I would normally never buy, and that's because luxury makeup for me is never worth it. Like, it's colored dust and pretty packaging. You pay for the branding. I couldn't give a shit about paying exorbitant amounts of money for, I don't know, Dior, Chanel, By Terry, whatever. But the company that I worked with gave us a coupon to use for Douglas, a beauty store here, because in March in Romania it's Women's Day, so they gave all of us ladies 150 lei coupon to use at Douglas. And there wasn't really anything that I truly wanted that they had in stock. Maybe some eyeshadow, but I didn't want to buy eyeshadow just yet because I had bought the Glamshop shadows. I had enough skincare to last me. So in the end, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do an impulse buy. And it was so nice. It was so nice to buy something without thinking about it, without debating the pros and cons like I usually do with my beauty budget purchases. Knowing that I have a beauty budget has made me much more careful with how I spend my money and what I spend it on. I keep a running wish list. I always edit it, always add things, delete things, wait for things, compare things, shop my stash for things. And it was so nice to have a carefree, I don't give a shit, I'm just gonna spend the money purchase. Something that I have not done ever since I started my beauty budget last year. I really like this palette. It's super nice. It's heavily fragranced with a Bulgarian rose type of scent, so be careful about that. I like that it is sheer but buildable. The bronzer shade is still too warm for me, but I use it as a blush. The highlight shade I feel would be more enjoyable for people that like very subtle highlights. This is like very subtle. Very subtle, and it's not gonna be built up much. But overall, because I spent how much on it? I spent $23 on it with a company discount. For me, it's worth $23. Definitely would not have been worth the full price for me though. On the Glamshop shadows, I spent, I believe, $60-ish. I'm gonna put screenshots of my order so you guys can see. But yes, in April, up until a certain point, I was well within the budget. I also went to get vaccinated for a bit because I was really keen on us getting back to normal ASAP. And also I wanted to keep my mother-in-law, which is immunocompromised and in a wheelchair, as well as my parents. My mom has Hashimoto's. My stepdad doesn't have huge health issues that we know of. I wanted to keep them as safe as I could from my own perspective. Then shit hit the fan, because 1 week after I got my vaccine, my mom called me saying she caught, and I was incredibly distraught because my mother means the world to me. We were lucky enough that it wasn't really that bad. I think I was more annoying than the disease itself, because I kept calling her multiple times a day, checking on her, asking her, how are you doing? Are you coughing? Do you have a fever? Are you sneezing? Do you have your sense of taste? Do you have your sense of smell? She took a test, like the test was positive. We know for sure it was. She luckily had like a very mild nasty flu type of situation. And I resisted impulse purchasing as a means to soothe myself. And then shit hit the fan again. And obviously my stepdad contracted from my mother. And I also thought that he would have like an easy form of it because he doesn't have a lot of health issues. But he got worse and worse as days passed. And he eventually had to be hospitalized and put on a ventilator. And it was very frightening because, listen, me and my stepfather, we don't have a great relationship. And the okay-ish relationship that we have, I've worked hard to have as an adult because he's not an easy person to get along with, and edit myself a lot when I interact with him. So it was hard work to get to a point where we don't ruin every family dinner arguing. Yeah, but still, you know, he's family, he is ours. You know, he's my people. And seeing him in the hospital, this man that used to be the bane of my existence and someone I was scared of and angry at for so many years in teenagehood, seeing him reduced to someone that could barely speak through that ventilator just did a number on me. It was like seeing my teenage boogeyman reduced to a shadow of his former self. And even after he got out of the hospital, he's just not really himself anymore. Like, he's much more calm, he's much more chill. I think it's because he's much more tired and because being in the hospital was traumatic. So yeah, like, I don't want to make this about myself, but this is a recording of my budget, and it kind of ties into the fact that I just stress shopped, and I refuse to be hard on myself about it. It was a situation that I couldn't control. I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't help with anything. And just seeing my mom completely destroyed by the fact that my stepfather was in a hospital, and she was in fear that she will lose a husband again because my dad died when I was 7. So, and then knowing that my stepfather, this, you know, hard imposing man, was lying in a hospital bed, I self-soothe in all of the unhealthy, unhappy ways. Shit happens. But yeah, stay safe, kids. Get vaccinated. Be careful who you interact with. Wear your masks. Keep your family close. He's much better now, and he's back to work and regular life. But it was more traumatizing for them than for me, for sure. But it was still a bit traumatic for myself as well. Anyway, the things that I bought while I stress shopped were the Urban Decay Ultraviolet palette. I just need to chill a bit. I got a bit worked up.
A few moments later.
Anyway, the things that I bought were the Urban Decay Ultraviolet palette, which I bought because of Killer Colors on Instagram. Listen, this palette catfished me, and I have a video about makeup that catfished me. You might enjoy that one. I initially thought that it was supposed to be a full pigment Anastasia Beverly Hills type of affair. Influencers as well just completely shat on it and on the concept, myself included. I anti-hauled it. Like, I will be the first to admit that I was wrong and I anti-hauled it and I talked shit about it for nothing. I really like this palette. The thing with this palette is that it is washes of duochrome colors or sparkle. It's not necessarily a full pigment type of palette. It does deserve the name Naked, not in the tones, but in the way that this is a more wearable approach to color for people that, you know, don't have that whole sparkly fairy clown aesthetic thing that I have going on. It's a really good palette if you like sheer color. If you don't, you won't enjoy it for sure. It was also my first palette purchase of the year. I am allowed 4 palettes per year. So yeah, 1 out of 4 out of the way. Another thing that I stress bought were 3 MAC lipsticks. I was allowed 4 lipsticks per year, so there goes literally 3/4 of my allowance. I'm thinking of revising that rule because now we're not wearing masks anymore except in crowded places, so I can wear lipstick again to work, I can wear lipstick again when meeting with friends, etc., but I will wait a bit more before not reining myself in. So the rule for now stays. I bought Velvet Teddy 2.0 Breakthrough and French Silk. Two of those are in their powder matte formula, which I really enjoy, and I keep wearing them non-stop. They're so comfortable and they give like a blotted look to the lips. French Silk is in their Love Me Satin formula. I think it's really a really pretty color, but I don't necessarily think that this one formula is much better than drugstore. However, I did get them at a great sale. They were down from 100 RON each to 60 lei each, which is a really good sale. Really good sale. Also, Grandpa Cat is here. Hello, baby. You have a night booger. From a beauty budgeting perspective, April was a shit show, but it is what it is. I refuse to let myself feel bad about it. Shit happens. So in May, I again didn't buy anything because, you know, I had so much stuff going on for myself in the makeup department that I didn't feel the need to. And then I got PR again. You can find the video linked down below. Now, June. Because I didn't buy anything in May, I was able to buy 4 makeup products in June, and I bought a lot of stuff that was on my wish. I bought the Catrice True Skin Foundation in 010 Cool Ivory, which I'm wearing on my face today. I really enjoy it. However, I feel that it looks better the more I wear it, and it does tend to be a bit powdery on the nose area, but as I said, the more I wear it, the more it looks better. I love it everywhere else though. I also bought the Fenty Cream Blush in Petal Poppin', which is a really beautiful, fresh strawberry pink shade. The hype for these was huge, but honestly, the hype was worth it. I can't stop wearing this. I also bought the Danessa Myricks Dew Balm, which again, I have it on my cheeks today, and I actually bought this because Amy Loves Makeup talked about it in a video of hers, and I really do love it, and I love that it's not sticky. Like, my hair does not stick to it, which is really good. I also bought the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick, the OG. After having it in my wish list for literally 3 years, I decided that this was the time to buy it because there was a huge sale on Cult Beauty, and I ordered with a friend, so you know, we were able to mitigate shipping costs and such. I really like it. This is really nice matte formula, very comfortable, very silky on the lips, smooth, a beautiful My Lips but Better shade. I've been really enjoying it, but also 4th lipstick of the year, so until the end of the year, until I decide that I can buy more lipstick, I'm not allowed any more lipsticks. There goes. But yeah, this has been a tough couple of months for me. Yeah, what did you guys buy in these last few months? What did you guys love in these past few months makeup wise? I would love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this beauty budget update. I'm sorry it's 4 months late, but life happens. I'll try to get back on track. Okay, I'm done. Thanks. Have a great evening, morning, second breakfast, third lunch, or whatever it is where you're from. Bye!